Hello everybody, welcome back to Subarashiki Hibi chapter 5. Now the funny thing about this chapter, it feels like every single piece of knowledge that we are being given is used to entirely change our view of the story. I mean, my god, the amount of scenes I've been able to reinterpret, even some of the more challenging ones. And when I say challenging ones, I think I can easily say some of the most odd scenes in the entire visual novel. For example, the scene where Yuki sees a ghost and just some sort of really weird delusional I don't know, just fabrication of reality, something that should not exist and yet does. Look at that. And also Kagami's scene as well. I always thought that that was going to be the hardest scene to understand, and yet now I do. It's so weird, and I can't believe that I do, but I do, which is really, really good. So before we get into this, I just want to get a reminder of this dialogue, because I skipped through this big time yesterday. Oh my god, yeah. Look at the Cyrano analogy, and look at how real it is in situations like that. I mean, there are so many elements that I've been able to explain, but those are the main two that are significant. And I'm really excited tomorrow, because what I'll do is I'll reread chapter 2's scene of Yuki and Kagami and her disappearing. Oh, I'm so excited to see the answer about what Ayana is. That's the thing I'm most interested in, I think. Yeah, no, I see that, yeah. Yeah, but isn't it ironic to think about the fact that in Looking Glass Insects, Zakuro doesn't grimace, and if anything, she does something that Yuki would totally not expect. Same with Kimika. I mean, they are encouraging the conversation with with Tomosane and everybody here, and I think that's really significant because, I mean, the more confident Tomosane becomes, the more, if anything, he grows attached to these people, so as a result of that, the more he wants to save them. And yeah, I do find it interesting that just instinct led him to obviously beating up all of the horrible bullies who would be doing, well, let's just say they would be doing a repeat of the true ending in Looking Glass Insects, just worse, if they hadn't have, well, if Takuji hadn't have saved them. He just instinctively had that will to do it. Oh my god, yeah, and it's going to be nice to see how, oh yeah, it does kind of make sense, all of that now. Oh yeah, my favourite. The room where one photo of the room is enough to completely change the understanding of the story. Yeah, but this is insanely strange. Yeah. So my question is, why is it the case that Takuji has two houses, and why is it the fact that he can have two houses to live in? Also with Kagami and Tsukasa's house, I don't really understand. Is it... yeah, what about Kagami and Tsukasa's house as well? And how does that relate to Hasaki? I wonder. Well, no, I suppose it does kind of make sense, because... maybe there's some sort of scenario where Takuji and Hasaki's mum just... well, no. No, I really don't know. I do wonder whose house this is. Because this is clearly not that. No, wait. No, it isn't the house of Takuji's mum. No. It's a different house altogether. And that's what's really confusing about it. If anything, I suppose that's strengthened by the fact that Yuki feels it's completely unknown when going into that house. She has no idea what that house is whatsoever. I just wonder what's going on. And also, you've got to ask the question of why do these people not have a guardian? It is, yeah. But isn't it interesting to think about in It's My Own Invention? Takuji comes back to his room. I mean, that is something that never should happen, but at the same time, the more we get into, and the closer we get to July the 12th, ironically, the more we see Takuji coming back into his room, which, it's really strange. I mean, I wonder if that could indicate the decreasing significance of Yuki as a personality? It's a bit hard to tell. Yeah, this is so weird. Yeah, he's got a point. He doesn't know. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't notice them a bit, but he doesn't really... He feels it's something so normal that he doesn't really feel he needs to comment on it. So isn't it interesting to think about the fact that the only scene we are shown with Takuchi's bullying is the one where he is totally put as an outcast socially, and well, he gets totally rejected by Kawabata, and I think that's just really significant because look at Yuki here. She is sociable, she's kind, she's caring, she's likable, all of the things that Takuji probably wasn't. So as a result of that, obviously getting bullied by Kawabata. I wonder if it stemmed from that. Because, I mean, a moment like that, it would be incredibly distressing for a person. And I get the impression that Takuji's abused, so... Yeah. I mean, things like those combining, that'd be awful. Yeah, it's just so weird to think about the fact that two personalities can interact together. It's so weird. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. If anything, ironically, I think this is the entire opposite. I mean, look at, for example, Down the Rabbit Hole 2. Yeah, but isn't it funny? She is. The worst possible scenario happened. Yeah, it's so interesting. I just wonder why Yuki is growing more distant. It is really unusual to think about. I'll see if I can answer that this episode. Yeah, God, it's so odd. So I really do wonder, I find it interesting, the bar person, he must be really, really tolerant and understanding of everything that is going on with Takuji. And he's one of the people that knows as well, which is funny. Oh yeah, no. I remember when, this is funny. So, when the master was referring to Takuji, he accidentally said, oh, hey, you... And then he said Takuji. I thought that was referring to Tomosane, as in Yuki. But no, it was referring to Yuki. That's hilarious. It's such a reasonable error to make, but at the same time it's wrong, I think. Or at least that's just what my gut feeling tells me. Weird stuff, man. Hang on, I've just got to... Okay, there we are. Yeah, no, I see this. But the only thing is, I mean, I don't really understand why Tomosane is thinking that these people have been created. Is that really true? How is it that he had the conscious decision about doing this? This screams mental disorder to me. It doesn't scream something that he would optionally do. But the only thing is, he thinks that Takuji has so much control over it. He doesn't. He is just like Tomosane. Time passes, he doesn't realise why it's passed. Yeah, the harmonizer. I suppose the creator, the harmonizer, and then Tomosane the destroyer. Or potential destroyer. He doesn't even destroy everything in the alternate ending. Oh, and he doesn't really do it in the other ending, I suppose. That's unusual. But the only thing is, I mean, it's interesting that Tomosane feels as if this will be the personality that ultimately Takuji will acquire. So what is going to happen the more sociable and the more potentially confident that Takuji gets? I mean, the only thing is Takuji becoming competent is completely reliant on Zakudon not suiciding as well, can I just mention. So I do wonder what would happen. If we were to continue the ending of the story and Looking Glass Insects, just what would happen? Yeah, but it is interesting to think about the fact that the best and most ideal personality should also not know any of the truth. But I suppose, if I'm going to be honest, I can see this, because let's be honest, Takuji, he does have serious mental problems, and I mean, if you could not... I just think it's ridiculous to think... I mean, dude, just look at any of the... Well... Any of the particularly bad H scenes on the rooftop in It's My Own Invention. You get what I mean, I'm sorry, but if somebody... And with Kagami and Tsukasa, dude, one of them's his sister, another one's a fucking plushie, and yet he sees them as human beings. And, yeah. Let's just say all of the stuff about the Saviour, Didudu, all of that mad attack of delusions beforehand. Before, obviously, he became Kyuseishu-sama. Yeah. It's weird. Where did the idea... Well... But I suppose it's as if Takuji's going to merge personalities with Yuki. The core elements of Takuji not knowing anything and not knowing the truth are still going to be there, because the truth is, let's be honest, too painful. But at the same time, the emotions are going to completely merge. Yeah, interesting. I just don't understand why he thinks Takuji actually has control in this. Isn't it interesting that Yuki only dies if Takuji dies? Yeah, that does make sense. Totally. Yeah, it's awful, the feeling of meaninglessness he has here. Obviously the analogy to the Jabberwocky as well, that increases its prominence. Right. That was interesting. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, the conversation here. Hasaki looks so terrifying just staring at the center of the screen there. How long have you been there? I was hiding. Hiding? God, look at her eyes, by the way. Can I just mention that? Look at how hot... Oh, God, that's even worse when you think about the dialogue. Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was. I think that just really, really shows just how troubled she must be in a situation like this, which I don't blame her for whatsoever. The only person who is actually acting like a reasonable, quote-unquote, brother. I mean, obviously, biologically, Takuji is a brother, but that personality is female, so, yeah. Make of it what you will. But, yeah, is Yuki. Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was. Oh, so do you know who it is now? Tomosane-ni-san. Yeah, that must be horrible. I mean, I get that this is obviously a personality that makes it feel as if... I mean, Takuji feels as if he is a completely different person inside, and he has no idea that he is the other person. But the only thing is, I mean, it's just... It must be so awful. Not even being allowed to call your brother, brother. Don't call me that. Call me Tomosane-san. God, listen to her voice. She's just trying so hard not to break. Welcome home. Dinner's ready, so eat whenever you want. And dude, I mean, she looks so young. Why is she... I mean, you know things are wrong if she is cooking for him. How about you actually listen to me for once? But Tomosane-ni-san, you're always telling me I can't do things. I can hardly keep track of them all. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, another thing that must be really, really horrible. There aren't that many things you can't do. Besides, I'm not your brother. Yeah. But you look like my brother and Tomo-ni-san. You're the only one I can talk to anymore. Hey, don't call me that. That's even worse. But it's easier to say. Yeah, God, I think it's really, really sad to think about the fact that Yuki is just totally obsessing over what Hasaki can and can't call him. There are so many problems, but he is just totally glossing over them because he's more fixated on what he wants to be called. I mean, I get that, obviously, he finds disgust in Takuji, but at the same time, I mean, it's not other people's fault. It's not her fault. at all. And he's, I suppose, yeah, I can totally see why Yuki would be disgusted in Takuji. Look at Yuki, he is the most omniscient and, well, just reality perceiving person here, and what is Takuji? The opposite. Yeah. Then we'll compromise. Then we'll compromise with Tomosane Nisan. That should be fine. No, don't just go deciding that on your own. Why don't... I mean, I get that he cares, but does he... I'm just really surprised about the fact that he's thought of Takuji as an insult that's this bad. What I find really interesting is this has been going on for years. I mean, with Yuki, but also Takuji. So I do wonder what happens in the good ending of Looking Glass Insects and how Takuji potentially mends his personalities. Or if he can, that's the question. How the fuck can he get good grades, yet at the same time have a problem like this? I mean, okay, medication and psychological help, that's the answer, but without that, I mean, would he really want to be diagnosed with something like this? What I'm trying to say is, would the medication with this actually be able to help educational ability anyway? I don't know anything about this field, but I mean usually, I'd assume usually like the stronger the mental illness, the more medication that's needed to be given. So obviously, potentially the more effect it'd have on your brain. I don't know. I don't know anything about this though. So, yeah. But I think it's probably reasonable, my question. I don't know. I just have that gut feeling. No, don't just go deciding on your own. Yeah, what is... Besides, it's not like I'm the only one you can talk to. You can talk to Minakami Yuki, can't you? Jesus Christ, can you imagine in Chapter 2 just how much pain Hasaki was feeling? And isn't it interesting, the fact that we saw Hasaki rather than Kagami and Tsukasa? We didn't see her with her doll though, which I think is significant. We've seen her with her doll in every single other scene. That's odd. Yeah. Yeah, but she's getting further and further away. I can't really talk to her properly anymore. Properly? Look how sad she looks, God. I guess we can talk, but I see her every day. But she can't see me anymore. She can't see you, huh? Yeah, totally. Isn't it interesting that the more Yuki is becoming isolated from the laws of, well, becoming aware, and the more she's becoming dissimilar from Tomosane, the more she is falling to the delusions that Takuji has. I find it interesting that in Chapter 2, she has delusions of Takuji's, and none of the delusions that she sees are as strong as Takuji's, apart from Kagami and Tsukasa. The only delusion that's visual that we see is maybe the Tsui no Sora, but also just in general, that really, really weird life form that is black and it has blue eyes and it's just as if it's a fabric. In reality, really, it just doesn't feel like it should be there. It's a hole in our understanding, not reality. Yeah. Despite that, there aren't any discrepancies in Yuki's actions. Her perceptions and actions differ from those of the real world. And yet Hasaki can still tell that Minakami Yuki can't see the real Hasaki anymore. Yeah, fair. Yeah, not Takuji, no way. God, isn't it horrible to think about the fact that, I mean, her brother is here, and yet at the same time she can't even talk to her brother. You can talk to... Well, it's just Cyrano again, it really is. So now you're the only one I can really talk to. Oh, still don't call me that. Oh my god. It's Yuki. Jesus Christ. It's just as if you're trash talking somebody and oh my god, then they finally just suddenly emerge. Be nice to her. What? Yeah, but the only thing is, isn't it really funny? Well, not everybody can see Yuki. Well, nobody can see Yuki apart from us. What's wrong? Yeah, now she's talking to me. Now he's talking to Minakami, but at the same time, obviously Hasaki's going to be really confused. No, it's nothing. Hey, didn't you already show up once already? What, do you have a problem with me showing up more than once a day? It's not what I'm talking about. Who are you talking to? Long time no see, Hasaki-chan. That's actually really interesting to think about the fact that even though Tomosane is saying that it's as if Yuki doesn't even remember Hasaki and is starting to see the same delusions Takuji sees. Interesting that this has gone back to normal now. It is July the 3rd. I wonder if Zakuro has any correlations with this. Time no see, Hasaki-chan. Oh, Yuki-san? Yeah, sorry about the way I've been acting. I haven't really been able to talk to you. God, she really can't help it, no matter how much it pisses him off. You don't need to apologize. Does that mean you swap places with Tomo-ni-san? Yeah. I just find it so interesting to think about the fact that he can tell the fact that these people are totally illusionary. Yuki can as well, but she's starting to see it less and less, and obviously Takuji can't whatsoever, but that does make sense. No, we're both here. It's just creepy seeing an illusionary person standing there next to someone who's real. Yeah, fair. Yeah, fair. I told you, I'm in the exact same boat here. Yuki-san, you can tell it's me. Or maybe that's the discrepancy because of the fact that she's not remembering. But we do know from the conversation between Book Takuji and Zakuro, and then Hasaki coming up and having a word with Yuki, we're probably going to see the contents of whatever that is. And we're also going to probably see how Zakudo's suicide affects all of this. To be honest, we haven't really seen much discussion with... we haven't really seen much about Tomosane. No, what was I going to say? No. To be honest, it's really weird. We haven't really seen many scenes of Tomosane and Yuki together before now. It's funny that. Because, I mean, we firstly learned that Yuki was so strong that even people like Tomosane would fear her just because of how good she is at martial arts, which obviously is a personality trait of Takuji. And then, obviously, that's the only thing we've noticed, so we haven't ever had the indication that these people were very close. And of course they are. God, could you imagine if these people weren't close and what that would entail? Jesus Christ, it's already bad enough when they are close. Yeah, it seems like it's been a few weeks since I last saw you. Is that right?
Hi.
Oh, it is. Oh, I thought it wouldn't be. Okay, that's good. Or maybe she's just saying that. I don't know. It's actually quite So I was right. Well, I'm never aware that I'm doing it. I just felt like the days flew by.
どういうことだ? お前、最近徐々に全てを忘れている時間が長くなったと言っていただろう。
What's going on? You said those times when you forgot everything were getting longer, didn't you?
そうだね。長くなってる。
Yeah, I did. And they are.
なら、なぜ一日に二度も?
Then how did you appear twice in one day?
だからさ、あれだよ。連休って切れる瞬間が一番明るいって言うじゃん。
Yeah, fair enough. They say a light bulb is brightest before it, just before it goes out. Power supply completely fucked. Just sever the cable, man.
切れる瞬間が明るく。なるほど。
No, put a diode in the wrong direction. お前が切り離される間近だからこそ、これだけ連続的に存在できるということか。 That'd imply actually getting into the circuitry. Dude, just pour some deadly chemical over it. Make it explode. Use gasoline and then light it. Just before it goes out. So the only reason you're appearing so much is because you're just about to be cut off. But then again, I mean, this is a conclusion that's reasonable because of the fact that she's growing increasing distance, but it doesn't happen.
だから、そう言ってるじゃん。
I already told you that.
今のお話だと、ユキさんはもう私を見ることなくなるということでしょうか。双子の。
Does that mean you won't be able to see me anymore, Yuki? You'll just see those twins.
若月鏡と若月司ね。いやー、正直ごめん。努力はしてるんだけどね。思い出せないことの方が多いんだ最近。
Yeah, Wakatsuki Kagami and Wakatsuki Tsukasa. I'm really sorry, I'm trying my best, but I'm forgetting more than I'm remembering lately.
せめて切り離された後の私が葉崎ちゃんを騙しきれるほどに完璧だったらよかったんだけどね。
Oh my god, yeah, that would be really odd. No, but at the same time it would totally work. But the only thing is, I mean, obviously Wakatsuki Kagami and Tsukasa, I get that they are seen as different people, but at the same time, I mean, the person who occupies the voice of Tsukasa and Kagami is still the same, and they will still give you the same responses. No, but then again, I mean, this is the problem. When Yuki was talking about everything that didn't align with her reality fully being filtered out, I wonder if more's going to be filtered out the more her delusions manifest, really. I just wish I was convincing enough to fool you after I got cut off. Yeah, fair.
Hasaki には分かってしまう。
But yeah, totally. You can't fool her. She can tell the difference.
他の人間はそうでもないみたいなんだけどね。やっぱり親しい人にはわかるよね。私が全然違うものを見てしまってること。
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I guess no one else can tell though. I guess it's just because we're so close. Yeah, that's why she can tell that I'm seeing something completely different from what she is. I do find it very interesting that Hasaki is in a different school to Takuji, by the way. I really do wonder. It's either because... wait, no. I think it's just because she's not old enough to go to high school. Or maybe she's transferred out of school because it's not safe where Takuji is. I mean, that school's a fucking cesspit, so it doesn't surprise me. But I'm glad to see you again after so long, Yuki-san.
Oi, Hasaki.
Hey, Hasaki.
はい。
Yes?
なんでユキはユキさんなんだ？お前の理屈から言ったらユキ姉さんか
Yeah.
ユキ兄さんじゃないか。
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. Why do you call her Yuki-san? By your logic. Oh my god, Tomosane is being such a dick, but at the same time he does actually have a point, but still he's just always trying to disrupt the moment. Oh, now Yuki's gonna be pissed at him. Why do you call her Yuki-san? By your logic, she should be called Yuki-ne-san or Yuki-ni-san, shouldn't she?
ユキさんはユキさんだってユキさんだから、
Yeah, she really is the one to get into a habit. She won't break it, i.e. with Tomosane. Yuki-san is Yuki-san. She's always been
お
Yuki-san.
前説明努力を放棄してるだろ。
You're not even trying to give me a real explanation.
しゃあないじゃん。中身女だけど外見男の人間なんて兄さんとも姉さんとも呼べないでしょ。
Yeah, no, I can see that, yeah. You can't blame her. I'm a girl on the inside, but I look like a guy on the outside. How's she supposed to call me Nisan or Ne-san? How about you call her, I don't know, Nie-san or something like that? Oh yeah, what does Nie mean? I completely forgot. Nie no Hakoniwa is a Japanese title. Wait, what does Nie mean? I forgot. Dude, fuck off with the shitty Google translation. Ah, yes. Nie. Does that exist? Oh no. Is there a word? Wait, nie means. Wait, is new a verb? What? I'm curious. Oh, wait. No. Wait, so is there a Japanese word that's nie? I'm really curious. Yeah, okay, yeah, right. So I didn't want to say a wrong thing. Yeah, so nie is an offering, right? Yeah, because obviously nie no Hakoniwa translates to dollhouse of offerings, and Hakoniwa is a dollhouse then. I might read that story, I might not, I don't know. I actually really don't know. I do want the experience of an Edo Guro VN. I'm saying this with the most sane face I can. I don't want to read. I don't know. I don't know if I want to read maggot baits, but I definitely want to read some sort of thing. I mean, I want to read a Guro title soon, but I don't know if I want to go as far as a clock up title because, yeah, clock up titles are clock up titles. Yuki Nie-san. Yuki's an offering. Yuki is an offering to Takuji. She does have a point. Yeah, so she really is trying to fight her head. I mean, the more she progresses in life, the more she is forgetting and the more that she is growing distance from everything and the more she's struggling to fit into Takuji's delusions. It's just so weird how he's merging with Takuji and yet at the same time, Suwa Takuji is not changing whatsoever.
外見か。
On the outside, huh? That makes sense. To Hasaki, that's what Yuki looks like. Yeah, to me it looked like Yuki was standing next to Hasaki. Of course, that Yuki was an illusion. It was nothing more than an image created by my brain. Yeah, exactly. And the worst thing is, that's what he is as well. Yeah, but that illusion was laughing and talking animatedly with Hasaki. It was hard to shake the feeling that she was actually there. Yeah, no, I totally agree, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah, but Hasaki can't see the Yuki I see at all. She just hears Minakami Yuki's voice from Mamiya Takuji's mouth. It's the same when I talk too.
とは言っても、それが俺を兄と呼ぶ理由にはならないだろ
Still no reason to call me her brother. They are the same person, they're not siblings. There's a difference between the same person and a sibling.
嫌だね。なんでそう頭固いの？お姉さん悲しいな。
These people never change, they're so stubborn, it's hilarious. But to be fair, I mean, if they're having a decreased memory of everything that's going on, they're going to have a decreased memory of just what somebody wants to be called. Meanie, why are you so stubborn? You're making your big sister sad.
ちなみにお前はもっと俺の姉なんかじゃない。
God, you can piss him off so easily, it's so funny. I wonder what would happen if Hasaki called him Tomosane. No, Tomosane-chan. Just be extra degrading. Or Kun. Tomo-kun. Or Tomodachi rather than, I don't know, Tomo-san. Tomo-ni-san. And for the record, you're not my sister either.
なら、恋人同士にでもなる？
Do you want to be lovers then?
それはダメです。
Well, people always encourage you to love yourself and not to hate yourself. Oh god. The phrase, go fuck yourself. You can't do that. Oh. Well, what?
とも兄さんから見えるユキさんって美人なんですね。
Yeah. She is a smash. The Yuki-san that you see is really pretty, isn't she?
誰がそんなこと言っていた？
Me and her. Who said that?
私だよ。
I did. Oh
勝
shit.
手に言うな。俺がどう見えているかなんてお前になんかわからんだろ。
Yeah, to be fair, you could look like a complete monster. You could look like... Right, Sayan not Uta spoilers, but you could look like how Fuminori... Huminori... Or... I'll say Huminori. Because sometimes people say Fu, and then other people say Hu. I'll just say Huminori. Yeah, how he perceives people around him. Don't make stuff up. How would you know what you look like to me? You could look like somebody with no clothes on as well. Oh my god.
でもさ、間宮拓司が望んだ女だぜ。美人じゃないわけないだろ。
Fair enough. Well, I am Mamiya Takuji's ideal woman. Why wouldn't I be beautiful? Yeah, I see that. And this also makes sense with Takuji, with somebody like him in mind. And she's obviously a virgin as well. Which is ironic because I find it so funny that in chapter 1, oh my god. I'm not even going to finish what I was going to say, it's just a bit concerning. I have the thought, that's what counts.
だからそれは間宮拓司の趣味だ。俺はお前みたいな女はタイプじゃない。
God, you might be what Mamiya Takuji likes, but I'm not into girls like you at all.
なんだよ。んじゃ、葉崎ちゃんみたいなロリタイプが好みか？
Oh god. Me? No. No way.
バカか。葉崎は妹だろ。
Seriously, yeah. Oh, you're dumb. Hasaki's my little sister, isn't she?
おや？
Oh, really?
お。
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Takuji's little sister, and he is technically Takuji. That's how you justify that statement.
なんだよ。妹って認めてるのかよ。
You said it yourself. So she's your little sister, huh?
違う。
Yeah, seriously.
肉体的妹であってだな。
I know, I mean physically. Physically, she's my little sister. Yep. Look at how stuttering he sounds.
違う。肉体的妹であってだな。
肉体的に兄弟？何それエロい。
Right.
違う遺伝子的だ遺伝子的に妹なだけであって人格的には妹ではない
Oh god. Physically brother and sister. That sounds kind of a right, okay then. I don't understand how. So you're telling me that everybody who is a physical sibling of... So you're telling me any person with siblings has something that's kind of erotic. What? Has an erotic character trait to them. Right, okay. Because of their relationship. Because of them physically being brothers and sisters. What? This is... Yeah, that's a very weird line. Yeah, a line that I shouldn't look into too much. I love that he accidentally said it. Isn't it interesting that his subconscious makes it so that he does say something like that? He instinctively thinks it. He knows it's the case. It's just he doesn't want to admit it because of how much he hates Takuji. He doesn't realise that he's completely destroying his relationship with her. Maybe he's even really affecting Hasaki's mental state as well as a result. God, I really wonder what Hasaki's life's like.
違う遺伝子的だ遺伝子的に妹なだけであって人格的には妹ではない
Try to explain yourself. No, genetically. She's only my sister genetically. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm a different personality from Mamiya Takuji, so in that way she's not my sister. But you're still holding the same body, so genetically, sure. How convenient.
Huh?
Huh?
つまり結城友実さんの都合のいい時だけ私って妹だったり他人だったりするんだ
In other words, you want to treat me like your sister when it's convenient and like a stranger when it's not. What? She's getting really upset for some reason.
他人ならご飯とか自分の分ぐらい自分で作ってよね結城さん
Yeah, you're totally reasonable. Yeah, if you're just a stranger, then make your own dinner, Yuki-san. God, she's totally pissed off. Yeah, no, she's totally reasonable. Yeah, Hasaki suddenly turned and walked toward the door.
ほらさ、Tomosane、少しは優しくしてやれよ。
Look, you could be a little nicer to her, Tomosane. Yeah, she doesn't deserve any of this. She really doesn't, and she's doing so much for her, for him even. So, yeah, he should return the favour. Oh my god. What? Hey. Yuki pushed Hasaki towards me. Oh my god. Well, okay, yeah, that makes sense in terms of just how this could happen. Hasaki lost her balance and fell into my arms. This is just a little bit awkward. It wasn't me. Exactly though, yeah. In reality, it probably looked like I had suddenly embraced Hasaki from behind. Yuki did that. Oh my god. Jesus, it kind of hurts when you squeeze so tightly.
ほらさ、たまには抱いてやれよ。兄弟なんだからこんなことだってあるだろ。
Reasonable, yeah. Yeah, I find it really quite sweet to think about the fact that what Yuki is doing here, if anything, she is really building character and trying her hardest to build a good relationship to Yuki. And isn't that interesting? That's just another trait of the ideal personality of Takuji. Someone who they want to create everything. They want to make better situations for everyone around them, which, I mean, Takuji, to be honest, I mean, Suwa Takuji, he doesn't really influence anyone. But, for example, delinquent Takuji, i.e. Tomosane, all he has done is just make everything worse for other people. Make, for example, people like Tsubasa's crowd completely injured and bullied and beaten up and all of those really bad things. What I think is a bit relevant about that is the fact that, well, just the fact that, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, well, I suppose I get that these people are obviously the scum of the earth. They deserve everything they get, but he still causes misfortune to them. And to be honest, I mean, I don't know whether he bullies anyone apart from Tsubasa's crowd, which I find interesting. I do wonder if all of the people that bully Takuji are also on top of the group when we think about Yuki of Tomosane. Yeah.
ねえよ、どこの世界に兄弟で夜抱き合ってるやつがいるんだよ。
Oh god. No, it's not. I don't know what world you live in, but over here it's not normal to hug your sister like this. Oh god.
ゆきさんなんですか？
Yuki-san, is that you?
だいたい私が友実に葉咲ちゃんを押さえつけてる感じかな。
Yeah, does it feel like I'm pushing you together?
何させるんだお前。
I really do wonder how this must be for Hasaki and just how eventful this must be. What exactly are you making us do?
仲良くしてくれよ。兄弟でさ。じゃなきゃお姉さん悲しいぞ。
You two should get along as brother and sister. You're gonna make your big sister sad. Yeah.
だからてめえは姉なんかじゃないだろ。
I told you, you're not my big sister.
でもさ、葉咲ちゃんに優しくしてあげられるの。
Yeah.
もうあんただけなんだからさ。
And that is totally reasonable, yeah. But you know, you're gonna be the only one left who can be nice to Hasaki-chan.
いや、それは違う。違うだろ、ユキ。
But hang on a second, I don't really understand. Why did Hasaki move out of this house and why did she confront the wounds that would be there if she moved back with her mother? I don't get it. No, that's not true. That's not true, Yuki.
違くない。
Yes, it is. Usually, Yuki is perfectly laid back, but this time she was pretty angry. No, I think that's really good. She's teaching Tomosane a very valuable lesson here. I guess Yuki didn't say that to anyone but me. Hasaki just looked at me, apparently not hearing Yuki's outburst. Yeah.
あんただけが葉咲ちゃんを守れるんだから。
You're the only one who can protect Hasaki-chan.
なんでそれがわからない？
Why can't you understand that?
それはお前がそう思い込みたいからだろ。
Well, then again, I mean, it's something that is realistic. You could implement it into your life, sure.
なんでそうなるんだよ。
Why do you think that?
実際、お前は切り離されていっている。それがなぜか、お前が一番わかっているはずだ。
You're just isolated. You know damn well why that's happening.
俺たちの存在は、葉咲を守るために作られたものだ。葉咲のために、それぞれがそれぞれの役割を演じる。
But what are you doing for Hasaki? We were created to protect Hasaki. We each have our role to act out for Hasaki's sake.
何も持たない葉咲を守るために、マミや拓司という存在を殺し、新たなる人格として水上由紀を作り上げる。
No, that's totally reasonable. Yeah. For Hasaki, who has nothing, we must kill Mamiya Takuji's existence and create a new Minakami Yuki personality.
だからそんなの決まってないよ。全てから切り離された私が葉咲ちゃんを守れるわけないでしょ。
That's not set in stone either, that's the tricky thing, and the thing is these people have completely contradictory views, so it's going to be very hard to actually solve anything. I told you, that's not set in stone. How am I supposed to protect Hasaki once I'm completely cut off?
守れるはずだ。若月鏡や司という形をとっていても、水上由紀は葉咲である司を守ることを大前提に動く。
I agree.
そうなっているはずだ。
You will protect her. Even if she thinks she's protecting Wakatsuki Kagami and Tsukasa, Minakami Yuki will still do everything so it will still do anything to protect Tsukasa, who is Hasaki. That was original, that's how it was designed.
そんなの葉咲ちゃんを守ってることになんかならない。
It isn't, yeah, good point. That's not the same as protecting Hasaki-chan.
なるかならないかなんてどうでもいいんだ。ただ結果として葉崎をお前が守り続ければそれでいい。
Who cares if it's the same? The end result is that you'll be protecting Hasaki. Isn't that good enough?
Hasaki ちゃんの心はHasaki ちゃんの心を守れないような切り離された私が結果としてだって守ることなんてできない。
That is fair, yeah. What about Hasaki-chan's heart? If I can't protect her heart because I've been cut off from the real world, am I really protecting her? I do see that.
だからってどうなるんだ。
What more can we do?
だからHasakiちゃんに優しくしろって言ってんだよ。
Yeah, she really does have an important point here. I told you to just try being nice to her for once.
俺は消えていく存在だ。葉崎を守るのがお前の役目。俺の役目は間宮拓司という人格を消すことだ。
Yeah, my existence is going to disappear. It's your role to protect Hasaki. My role is to destroy the personality known as Mamiya
そ
Takuji.
れこそあんたの思い込みだよ。
Yeah, no, totally.
バ
Just
カ。
assuming that's true.
何が思い込みだ。それが定められたことであるぐらいお前にだってわかるだろ。
So, I mean, this is definitely something that happens in the end of Looking Glass Insects. Tomosane wins over Suwa Takuji. He completely destroys him. There is no savior that is going to happen because of the fact that there is no reason for Takuji's stress levels to increase and also for his delusions to be strengthened. So, I mean, when Tomosane completely defeats Takuji, he probably disappears as well. If we remember what happened at the end of It's My Own Invention. And then obviously Yuki's personality is the only one that is going to be left. So I suppose you have, at the end of the Down the Rabbit Hole 2 chapter, you have in the true ending of It's My Own Invention. That happens. I find it so weird to think about the fact that with Kimika, in the alternative ending, it's true reality and there's no delusions whatsoever. And it's just so hard to believe that someone who experiences this level of delusion somehow doesn't experience them. It's so odd. But then again, I suppose this Takuji personality develops in ways that would have never been expected of him. So as a result of that, these people also have behaviours, i.e. death, that is never expected.
俺は間宮拓司を殺し、そして俺は消える。その汚い事実から切り離されたお前が葉崎を守る。
何も分かってないね。あんたも拓司と変わらずガキだよ。
Yeah, but totally good point. I think Yuki does have some moral conscience. Because obviously she wishes the best for Hasaki and he really looks down on Takuji, but at the same time, I agree, if I'm going to be honest. You don't understand anything. You're no better than Takuji. You're just a little brat. And this is why Yuki is the ideal
人にとって
personality.
必要なものって事実や結果だけだと思ってるんだからさ。
Yeah, well said. Yeah, do you think the end result is all that matters in life?
ガキはお前だろ。意味不明なことばかり。
Jabbering is actually a verb. Wait, what does it mean? Just spouting nonsense? Oh, for fuck's sake. Dude, why is it the case that... Talk in a rapid, excited, and often incomprehensible way, right? God, you're the little brat, you're constantly jabbering on about nonsense. Nah, I disagree. Oh, for a moment it looked like Yuki was about to say something, but then she just smiled.
分かった分かった。最後のは言い過ぎたよ。
No, I think she said just enough. If anything, I would have persisted more. Alright. I said a little too much. I apologize.
でもさ、葉崎ちゃん自身の心を分かってやれなきゃ。
Yeah,
彼女を守ると
seriously.
は言わないと思うよ。
But you can't protect Hasaki-chan if you never try to understand her feelings. Yeah. And that is exactly what Yuki is trying to do. He's only Tomosane is only seeing the end result, rather than all of the processes that need to go in order to achieve that end result.
Moshi, あんたが消えるとしても、今葉崎ちゃんと心から話し合えるのはあんただけなんだからさ。
Even if you really are going to disappear, you're the only one who can truly talk to her right now.
だからさ、もう少し優しくしてあげなよ。
Yeah, no, that's really nice. Yeah, so just try being a little nicer to her. Yuki disappeared like a mirage. As that happened, Hasaki moved away from me.
ユキさん。
God, I wonder what's going to happen now. Yuki-san. I'm just going to read a bit. Yeah, I do find this really interesting. Let's see if we can get anything more from this. Yeah, a lot of... The only thing that's really bad is this is subjective, what's going to happen. It's not objective. None of them know what is objectively going to happen because they have different views of what is going to happen in the end. Yeah, it's just a bit complicated. Yeah, it is interesting that. But the only thing is I disagree. I mean, I think Yuki, though she gets the feeling she's going to disappear, does she fully know that she will disappear? The thing is, it's really tricky because these people have entirely contradictory views about who's going to disappear, and they base their goals with Hasaki on those views. I mean, for example, Tomosane feels he's always going to disappear after he beats Takuji. Doesn't even know if that's going to happen. Same with Yuki. I mean, she doesn't know if this indication of disappearance is necessarily going to lead to disappearance, because if it does lead to disappearance, how do you explain down the rabbit hole too? And the fact that she's still there. I mean, because of my bias, because of more knowledge, and obviously more knowledge about the situation than the characters in the moment have. Sorry, at the moment have. I don't know why I said in the moment, but yeah, I'd say I agree more with Tomosane actually. I agree with Tomosane more, but I think Yuki's message is better, and it doesn't even matter who is going to win and who is going to be victorious of the other, if you like. Because being kind, especially to a sister who is as damaged as she is, yeah. She needs it. Kindness is a thing she totally deserves. I mean, she must be trying so hard just to keep her composure in a conversation like this. Yeah, but Yuki totally has a point, yeah. If I'm going to be honest, Tomosane really is being a child here. But then again, the same could be said about her. Yeah, no, I do see that. Yuki-san.
Yuki ならもういないよ。
If you're looking for Yuki, she's not here anymore.
そうなの？
Huh? Really?
ああ、少し喧嘩になってな。へそ曲げたのか知らんが消えた。
Yeah, we just got into a bit of a fight. I don't know if I ticked her off or what, but she just disappeared. Yeah. It's as if she said her message and now she will go. Where to, I wonder? Oh.
ちゃんとしたユキさんとちゃんとまた会えるかな。
Me too, yeah. I wonder if I'll get to see the real Yuki again.
ああ、あいつはあれで責任感が強い人間だ。
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
あんな中途半端な最後なんて許さないはずだ。だからまた会える。
Well, she's always had a strong sense of responsibility. I'm sure she won't let that be our final farewell. Yeah. She'll come back soon. Yeah.
それより夕ご飯冷めちゃったんじゃないかな。
Oh god. Oh no, dinner. It's probably cold by now.
そうだな。
Yeah, probably. Oh god, what does she make?
10分ぐらい待っててくれるかな。ごめん。
I'll warm it up again. Give me like 10 minutes. Sorry. Isn't it interesting to think about the fact that Hasaki, she's so distracted by Yuki coming back, and that's probably taken up her emotions so much that she's completely forgotten about just the amount of annoyance that Tomosane has given her, and the amount of cold and unkind feelings that she's received. But at the same time, it's just a bit significant that she's completely forgetting about that. Yeah. It's good. This is a really good chance for Tomosane to potentially make it up to her. Hasaki dashed out of the room. Yuki wanted to say something. At the end, she held something back. Yeah, no, it's weird. Yeah, even though we're the same person, I can't tell what she's thinking. Though, to be honest, I don't understand myself all that well either. Yeah, totally. There isn't very much I know about myself. What now? Are they going to have dinner? Or are we going to see... Ooh. Who is this? I learnt of my own existence through pain. The smell of rusting iron in my nose. What, as in nosebleeds? Or... a decaying structure and condemned building. Those were the kinds of things I could smell. So, the mother's apartment? Ow. Pain ran through my jaw. The smell of iron and this pain. Did I bite down? Fucking hell, did I bite down on a thumbtack? No, that's not it. That's not it.
なんだこれ。
Oh, that's him. What's going on?
なんだこいつ。気絶してたのか?
Oh god, what's wrong with him? You give him a concussion or something?
マミヤ、格闘の世界だとゼロコンマの奪い合いなんだぜ。
Was this just an error? Why is Tsubasa's sprite showing up? Oh, Mamiya, the world of fighting is kill or be killed.
格闘。
Fighting. Two unfamiliar men. One was grabbing my shirt by the lapels. When I saw that, I noticed my shirt was pretty dirty. Yeah. The buttons were torn off, and there was slobber and dried blood on it. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Why is it Tsubasa here? I think that's an error in the sprites. This should be Nishimura. The other two men's shirts were completely clean. A one-sided fight. Oh yeah, it totally was. But yeah, it's interesting. So this is the start of the personality, and isn't it interesting, the false narration? Yeah, look at this. One-sided fight. Are these guys really that tough? Well, I mean, you would have thought so, but, well, you can easily overpower them. Even if they are.
関係ねえよ。
Doesn't matter.
Huh?
Yeah, my god, I mean, these... Wait, hang on a second. Shidoyama's that... What? Oh, okay, I get it now. But anyway, yeah, isn't that really funny to think about the fact that you've just had somebody who's ridiculously weakened, but the only thing is, then he suddenly rises up. It's so interesting that, I mean, he's been traumatized in what they have done to him. So much so that, by the way, what I just genuinely can't believe is the fact that they do an incident as awful as this, and that's not the end. But then obviously Yuki, well, obviously as a result of Takuji being traumatized, his trauma quite literally saves himself. This is such a weird occasion.
Nah.
Right. I grabbed him by the wrist. So has he just naturally had this strength then? But it does make sense considering how good Minakami Yuki is at martial arts. I then used my left hand to drive his wrist into his chest, and then my right hand to grab his arm and twist it up. Oh, break that bastard's arm. Good for you. Disgusting human being. He deserves disgusting punishments. I want to hear him scream in pain. Come on. Oh, never mind. My body moved with those ingrained emotions. Isn't it interesting? It's as if it's instinctive for him just to fight off the things that have traumatized Takuji so badly. Fucking deserved. Yeah, when I broke his oh, so it, oh right, I see, wrist rather than an arm. When I broke his wrist, he crumpled helplessly. Funny that he knows those moves. It reminds me of Takuji, Suwa Takuji. Why does he know lots of literature and lots of thoughts, for example, by Wittgenstein? They're not strong at all. What? That's... Oh my god, is he doing even more bone breaking? That's disappointment. Yeah. Yeah, it was so easy to grab him by the wrist. How did I get beaten up before? Oh, it's a lot more than being beaten up.
Damn it!
You bastard. I was gonna completely destroy this horrible human being. God. Oh my god, he clutched his midsection as he fell. Wow. Yeah, no, this is the incident where the only reason he can justify it is because of the fact that it's for self-defense. But which personality of Takuji justified it? I wonder. I stomped on his face as he laid on the ground. God. Yeah. Isn't it funny to think about the fact that Tomosane, he doesn't even know what these people have done, and yet he just instinctively feels they deserve the worst violence ever. I would never normally justify violence in a visual novel, but considering these people have done, for example, what they've done to Takuji, how they've traumatized him, and also how they've traumatized Zakuro in nearly all the endings, yeah. Can't be forgiven. They deserve it. All. He lost consciousness after the first stomp, but I kept stomping on his face into the dirt anyway. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, God, it's insane. When he saw what happened to his friend, the man with the broken wrist screamed. Guess he lost the will to fight. Oh, yeah, I put all my weight into a kick and got him directly in the jaw. Yeah, that must hurt. That really must hurt. He tried to use his other arm to block it, but he wasn't fast enough. Ah, yeah, so he fell backward onto his ass. I straddled him on the ground. You thought I would let you off with just the reasonable. God. Oh my god. Oh, it's just payback. It's just payback. My hands are fucked up. This is going to be interesting. What are they fucked up with? Okay, I think this will cover in a thick layer of blood. Yeah. Not just other people's blood either. My hand was covered in multiple lacerations, each more than 10 centimeters long. Flesh was protruding from the... Fucking hell.
歯で切れたのか。
Oh, I see. I must have cut myself on their teeth. I mean, all of the blood, I was thinking that the punch could have been so hard that the blood was shown. Yeah. I mean, I think that could potentially be a reasonable way to... Oh yeah, isn't it interesting? A similar move to what Takuji did in LGI. But I think it's also because of how much he was beaten up beforehand. What were they playing? Oh yeah, they were playing rock, paper, scissors, but they were deliberately twisting the rules just so that they had an excuse to beat up Takuji. I'm sure there were more efficient ways of dealing with them if I just wanted to defeat them. At the very least, I wouldn't have punched them in the face so many times. Yeah, totally. The blood just rushed to my head. Yeah, it's instinctive. It really is instinctive. What now? Oh yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is his first time meeting Takuji. Stop. You deserve death. You don't deserve forgiveness. Oh my god. Wow. Ears of Nishimura looks like. I know which CG this is, but it's just a bit zoomed in, I think. Yeah, interesting. God, yeah, that must fucking hurt. There was too much blood to see how bad his face looked, but he would probably need stitches in and around his mouth. Yeah. Well, then again, I mean, look at how much damage he has caused. And obviously Nishimura and Namada, look at how much damage all of these people over such a long course of time. They have dealt to Takuji. Yeah, isn't it funny to think about the fact that Suwa Takuji, it's as if he's bullying himself now. These bullies, they're just scared of him after the worst possible injuries. Stop.
Yeah,
exactly. Look at all of those people you bullied. How brilliantly said. Yeah. You never stopped when anyone asked you to now, did you? Yeah, fucking wreck that man. He deserves it. But my legs kind of feel breezy. Wait, I've heard of a hakama, I just forgot what it was. Oh right, as if... Oh yeah, of course, that's why I was familiar, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It felt really easy to move, but it kind of felt like I was wearing a hakama. Why am I wearing a hakama? Maybe this was a match. Maybe that's why I was wearing clothes for martial arts. What is this? Yep. And then he realised that he's a man. Oh god. He's a man in a skirt because of the fact that these people forced him to. And they forced him to do things that are way worse. But yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I can see why Takuji would be traumatized from this. I really can. Fully. Yeah. I mean, he is the most manly and most, well, fight-driven person. He doesn't have an inch of femininity in him. Yeah, that must be awful. Yeah. Why am I wearing a skirt? You bastards, what the fuck is this? Sorry doesn't come with the trauma that you've given him. Yeah, fucking deserved. I find it really, really funny to think about the fact that Tomosane doesn't even know why he is so violent and why he is so awful to these bullies. But the only thing is, he still does it. So what I find really interesting is this other personality. It just totally reflects Takuji's anger and his just distaste and hatred for these bullies, which is so right. What I'm trying to say is the hatred is so right. If I'm going to be honest, I think morally calling the police on these people is the best thing to do. But at the same time, I mean, what are you going to get done with that? Let's be honest, these people will use any means they can threaten you with. If anything, injuring these people in a situation like this, it's going to make them scared of you. It will stop the bullying. It's the best thing that you could do for yourself. You think you can apologise for this? God. Yeah, no, totally. Why would they make me wear something like this? Yeah, this is a girl's uniform. Why am I wearing a girl's uniform? You little punks. God, he really isn't stopping. Yeah, Shiroyama must have had a lot of courage just to try and fight Takuji and declare victory after the most embarrassing defeat ever. But no, he still couldn't do a single bit. Well, you deserve it. Please, you'll kill us. Fearing the worst, I check my underwear. Oh, yep, now they're gonna be killed. The underwear was incredibly soft and very tight. Yeah. The parts that felt kind of rough were probably lace. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this isn't anything a man should be wearing. Yeah. You bastards, what did you make me put on? I was more than just angry, I was desperate. Why am I wearing this? Yeah, totally, yeah. Yeah, what the fuck was happening up until now? Wearing girls' clothing. Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, isn't it funny to think about the fact that you're just looking at all of the bad things that are happening here, and you're not even going down to the worst of what happened? Yeah, just notice the taste in your mouth. I mean, I don't know if he would know what that is, but yeah. And they even made me put on girls' underwear. Is that why? Oh god. You bastards. Yeah, fair enough. Classic torture method. Yeah, I inflicted as much pain as possible without killing them. Yeah, good. Yeah, this time I focused on inflicting pain on parts of their body other than their faces. Well, they're not academic, they're not exactly going to do anything with that. They might not be able to hold a pencil for a while. I took one of their uniforms. Wow. God, it was a bit loose, but it was better than nothing. Wow. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I suppose with boys it's a lot less worse than with people like Zakuro. couldn't do anything about the underwear, so I just didn't wear any. Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's not like a man has anything to be embarrassed about if they don't want to wear any underwear. Just pray you don't have PE and you have to change in the changing room. I can't believe this. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, yeah. Even if I had no recollection of the event, I can't believe they would do that to me. Yeah. They're the most inhumane scum. They're getting treated like they deserve. Yeah, treat people as you want to be treated. This is how they should be treated. Obviously, they don't want to be treated like this, but yeah. Well, that's a humiliation. It makes me want to hurt myself. Disgusting. I was too scared to ask what happened before. Yeah, I don't blame him. It's better if he doesn't know. Agreed. Fully agreed. Fully agreed. I mean, my God, he's thinking about... And to be fair, he is a bit oblivious. I mean, he thinks that the underwear is wet, and then he can't really make the connection about just why that is the case. Yeah, if you think about the rape as well, my God. I mean, he would have killed them easily. If I asked, I would have killed them when I heard the answer. I wiped it off with a tissue, but... Oh no, so he does realise, okay. Yeah, that sticky stuff on my body must have been... Yeah. Dude, it did. Well, my ass doesn't hurt, so at least the worst thing possible didn't happen. Well, I mean, you would have thought that would be sex, but no, it did. It did. I'd like to believe it didn't anyway. Yeah, you would like to believe. No. So many worse things can happen. Just look at... I don't know. Just look at any of Kiyokawa's sex scenes. It's getting fucked in the ass really the worst thing possible. Yeah, no, I don't blame him. Thinking about it, it wouldn't be odd if they had done that. I'm getting depressed just thinking about it. What the hell did they do to me? Good. Oh my God, what's going to happen when he rinses it out of his mouth? Because he's probably going to... Oh, Jesus Christ, he's going to have the taste of two people's dicks in his mouth. Oh my God. I wonder if he's actually going to realise from that. Just to be safe, I rinsed out my mouth too. I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah, they deserve it. I find it funny to think about the fact that even without the worst thing that they have done, they deserve torture to the point of death. And that's without the you-know-what. Well, whatever, I'll just torture these fuckers until they want to die. Yeah, talk like a little dog. Or a little brat. I find it so funny that he has such a booming voice. And he is really intimidating with people like Zakudor. But it's just funny how cowardly these people get when somebody more intimidating hurts them. I mean, they are begging for their lives, man. They really are. Hang on a second. Whose voice is that? This is a part of the scene that we haven't seen yet. What? What? That sound isn't one of the guys from before. This voice. I heard someone's voice from the clothes I took off. What is this? This whimpering voice, I think I've heard it before. I think I heard it before I came to exist. The discarded clothes rose up and filled out. After the process was complete. Who the fuck? What? No way, is he gonna forget everything? Okay, that makes sense now, yeah. Please stop. Don't hit me anymore.
間宮拓司
Interesting that he knows his name, even though he has a personality that has just been born now. This is what happens. Mamiya Takuji. Yeah, why do you know his name? The discarded clothes on the ground turned into Mamiya Takuji. Mamiya Takuji was still wearing that female uniform as he lay there on the ground, curled into a ball and... Yeah, I don't blame him. And isn't it interesting to think about the fact that, if you ask me, this shows the simultaneous state of emotions that he has. Firstly, he has a case of utter hatred and destruction that he desires, but also he has such sadness and such disgust and just such hopelessness to the situation. It's horrible, it really is. Mamiya Takuji was still wearing that female uniform as he lay there on the ground. Yeah, curled into a ball and bawling his eyes out. Somehow I understood everything once I saw that. Where I was, where I should be going. I instantly knew what I was and why I existed.
ある意味恵まれているかもな
In a way, maybe I'm blessed. Do other people have such a clear reason of existence? No, they suffer because they don't. Yeah, that's not a blessing, man. But I've been blessed. Because I was born with a reason to exist. No matter what that reason is, it is a blessing. Interesting how this mindset is very similar to Takuji's in when he becomes Mr. Kyuseiju-sama. Hey. Yeah, God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
何やってるの
What are you doing? God, this must be terrifying. It really must be. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Please don't hit me anymore. Yeah. This Takuji here, he doesn't even exist. Isn't it interesting? I do wonder with Tsubasa and Numata if they've ever seen Takuji being... No, wait, they have seen multiple personalities of Takuji always because of the fact that Minakami Yuki has been existing for years. So I just wonder how many times Takuji has talked to himself, really.
あのさごめんなさいじゃなくて何してるんですか
Hey you, I didn't ask for an apology, I asked what you're doing. I'm so sorry.
なんであんた女の服なんて着てるの
Why are you wearing girls' clothes? Because he was forced to. But he can't even speak up for himself at all. He's defenseless in every single way possible.
キモいですよねそういうの流行ってるんですか
That's nasty. Is that some new fad? Every time I hit him, I felt the same pain. Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. He is indirectly hitting himself with very, very significant strength. It was completely different from when I was hitting those other guys. I share the same body as this nasty fucker. Yeah, totally, yeah. I'm a separate personality born within this disgusting human being. My reason of existence
あ
is...
のさちゃんと説明してくださいよ
Hey you, how about you give me a good explanation for this? Oh god, to erase Mamiya Takuji. To eradicate Mamiya Takuji's personality and purge him from this body. That's what he wanted me to do. Isn't that interesting? I can see that. I can totally. He made me for the purpose of his own destruction. Yeah, because of the fact that, I suppose, Yuki is made because of Takuji, so that the bullies can completely be destroyed, and so that all of his feelings of powerlessness can completely be lifted. I think necessarily it was just a traumatic response. I don't necessarily think that Takuji made Tomosane. His emotions made him, sure, but I don't know. But obviously, I suppose if Takuji is destroyed, that means that the only Takuji left will be the one that goes increasingly similar to Yuki. He made me for the purpose of his own destruction. That's why... Come on. Jesus, yeah. Yeah. I felt intense pain every time I punched him. Every punch lit my brain up with pain. Yeah. I have pretty good technique. Yeah, funny that. Even I'm impressed. I never would have thought that this tiny body was capable of inflicting so much pain. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Even in situations... God. Do you get turned on when you wear those clothes? Fucking disgusting. He didn't though, seriously. It's not like I wanted to. Yes, you did. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, it was through pain that I first came into existence. That pain turned into light, and then when my vision cleared... The pain sewed together the world seems. But the world isn't light. The world isn't vision. I experienced that firsthand. Existence isn't only defined by vision. Yeah, I like that, yeah. Then is it defined by the 5 senses? Sight, sound, touch, taste and smell. Is the world the totality of the things which one can sense? I can see why he'd say that. Is it enough to simply see the world? Is it enough to simply hear the world? Isn't it funny, because the personalities of Takuji, this is entirely what implies. And yet at the same time, it isn't. The world's texture. The world's taste. For instance, the taste of dirt. The smell of grass. The feel of the wind. The sound of trees swaying in the distance. And the great blue sky above, with a sun that is oddly big. I saw the clouds racing across the blue sky. I heard the sound of the city. I felt the wind and I tasted oh God. That is the world. The things I can feel make up the world. Yeah, no, totally. Everything that has been given to me is the world. Yeah. Most people understand it to be so. But is it truly so? In Tomosane's case, no. I didn't believe that for a second. Yeah, neither do I. Where is this image going? As one exists only momentarily, I won't accept lies such as the world is everything you can perceive in a given moment. I wonder where this image is oh shit, it looks like... Oh. Why is there the kanji for karada? Weird. I only can read karada. I have no idea what else. I.e. karada means body. Just when it's on its own. As one who exists only momentarily, I won't accept lies such as the world is everything you can perceive in a given moment. Everything I can perceive is neither the world nor the world's limits. I learned that fact. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I know a world that I can't see, hear, touch or taste. Beyond the edge of the world, I know things that I'll never see, never touch and never feel. It's simple. I was born in this moment. I should know nothing more than what I can perceive at this moment. I know nothing. Yeah, it is odd. It really is odd. And yet this building that I'm looking at right now, even if I can't see its interior, I know its interior. I can imagine what lies on the other side of that wall. I can imagine what lies beyond the sky. What's more, I know the meaning of many things impossible to experience. That's perfectly natural. For instance, say someone passes a house every morning on their way to school. Doesn't matter who it is. A normal house that doesn't stand out in any way. That someone sees the house's door every morning. Not a door that anyone would pay attention to. Well, because we don't pay attention to the door, so it's not significant to us. Why don't we fear what lies on the other side of that door? Beyond that door. That could very well be the edge of the world. That is a very unusual point. At the very least, we've never seen what lies on the other side, but we can use our view of the world in order to piece together a logical picture that falls within the world's logic. But then again, I suppose we never know whether the world's logic is truly there in every single place of the world, but at the same time, why wouldn't it be? That's the question. At the very least, we've never seen what lies on the other side. But does that necessarily mean that we can deny the existence of what's on the other side? And then I suppose that depends on what your view of reality is. Is it everything you can perceive, or is it everything... Well, I don't know. Is reality true, or is it just what you can perceive? That really is subjective. To be fair, he does have a point. We can't... To be fair, it is actually something you can't disprove. It is a devil's proof in a way. We can't deny the possibility that the world's limits on the other side of that door. You can make the claim that they are, but can you can you disprove it without going into the house? No. Well, yeah, you could look in the windows actually, but if you only look in the door, can you? Assuming the door doesn't have windows. There's so many things I need to say. It's like some stuff in A-level physics, you literally can't answer the question unless it says, assume air resistance is negligible. Because we're not at a level yet to do questions where we don't assume it's not negligible. And also, internal resistance within circuit components as well. We've always got to assume that's negligible. And those are the main ones that I see. Yeah, but I do see that. And yet, we know. Nothing unknown to us lies on the other side. Yeah. Yeah, because it's ridiculous. Yeah, there's no way the edge of the world could lie on the other side of that door. Yeah, I agree. If one doesn't fear when turning a corner they've never turned before, then they have no reason to fear that door. Yeah. I know that the world also consists of scenes we will never see in our lifetime. Sight is not the world. Hearing is not the world. Neither is touch, taste, or smell. It can't even be pain. Then what is the world? Is he going to say purpose? The answer isn't actually very complicated. Oh, that's interesting. The world is everything that can be put into words. If you think about huan-na kotoba, i.e. anxious words, yeah. It's interesting how that relates. The only thing in which the world can be put into words with is words that have connotations with anxiety. The only viewpoints of Zakudo's world are points that can be interpreted with anxiety and with sadness. The world is everything that has meaning. Truth and fiction. There is such a difference. But it's not so complicated. Yeah, there's no need to make it sound complicated. There's no need to dwell upon the unknowable. Yeah, reasonable. Rot.
手開かないな。
My hand won't open anymore. 3. I punched too much. That's good. Yeah, I beat 3 people to a pulp in such a short time. Yeah, quite literally to a pulp. Oh yeah. Yeah. If I truly wanted to destroy them, I could have done it with 1/10 as much of effort, but my goal was to inflict pain. I used my fist more than necessary.
キモいからそれ脱いでください。
Take that off, it's disgusting.
じゃねえだろ。
Don't question me.
すぐに脱げよ。
God, yeah, take it off.
下着も
The underwear too.
当たり前だ。女物の服なんて脱げよ。
Of course, take off all those girls' clothes. God. Yeah. I took the female uniform away from him. Yeah, what is he going to do? When I looked at the name tag, it said Takashima Zakuro. Clean the dirty underwear in the sink and use some tissues to get the dirt off the uniform. No fucking way is he going to return it. Yeah, fair. This girl is such a pain. Maybe I could have just washed it in the laundry, but that girl was probably in quite a bind without her uniform. Yeah, fair. Probably better than... Oh, what's probably better than wearing clothes that a man has just been forced to do you-know-what in. But, okay. I found a bag to stick her uniform in and headed to her classroom. That one? Oh, God. There was one lonesome student still in her PE uniform. Yep, Megu and Satoko. They've been doing it for years. It's not even them, I don't think. I think Megu and Satoko, they're all in on it. Poor girl, man. Oh, these guys are such a pain in the arse. Even if those bullies made him do it, it was still Takuji who actually stole these clothes. Yeah, no, totally, yeah. Interesting that he knows that. I walked up to the crestfallen girl anyway. Huh? Who are you? These were stolen, right? Huh? Your uniform is in here. Who are you? Me, I almost managed to say Tomosane Yuki, but I managed to stop myself in time. Yeah, no one by that name exists. I'm Mamiya Takuji. I'm in the next class over. Why? Who knows? anyway, I'm giving them back. Interesting that she asks why. What an odd question to ask.
なんだ
What?
すごい傷だらけです。
God, she really is kind. It looks like you're really hurt.
そうか
Really? I touched my own face with my hand. Yeah. It was covered in cuts and bruises.
取り返してくれたのですか？
Yep. Did you get this back for me?
いやそうじゃない
No, that's not it.
でも傷だらけです。
But you're hurt.
脅されて俺が盗んだんだよそれを返しに来た
Yeah. And isn't it interesting here we see another personality of Takuji doing the actions that would require ridiculous courage. I mean, Yuki, courage is in the name, but yeah, ridiculous courage that Takuji would never normally have. I was threatened and forced to steal it. I came to return it. Huh?
そういうことだから
That's all. Oh, I quickly left without saying anything else. Fair. Partly because I didn't want to associate with anyone Mamiya Takuji didn't know. Interesting. Yeah, that too. Yeah, but more importantly, I'm no good at dealing with women.
どうしたもんか
I've never seen this particular tint of the school. Oh my god, that was interesting. God, that really, really took an interesting and dark turn, and in general it was just really quite odd to see all of the events unfold, but obviously this time we're seeing the truth of them rather than a complete fabrication of them. My god, that really was quite something. And yeah, I do get the impression that with everything that's going on with Yuki, well, Tomosane here, I just really wonder how his personality is going to develop. I find it interesting that this could have, in theory, begun the start of a relationship with Zakuro a year earlier. Genuinely, I mean, what Yuki has done, it's funny. He's done a complete act of kindness. He doesn't desire any sort of reward for the kindness. He doesn't desire any feelings of sympathy. He just instinctively has a feeling to do what is right, which is actually quite interesting because we see his treatment towards Hasaki and how that instinct to do what is right, it's still present in the fact that he wants to defeat Takuji and he wants to defeat the personality that is completely just traumatized and is unable to look past the delusions. But at the same time, he's wrong for just, not really bullying Hasaki, but just not controlling himself around her. Yeah, it's interesting. It really, really is unusual. And yeah, I'm going to be very excited to reinterpret everything that was going on with Tomosane there. And oh god, the really quite interesting philosophical views that obviously it makes sense for these views to be in someone like Tomosane. But yeah, some very unusual questions that were said there. I'm excited for tomorrow. I really am. Actually, I won't be able to read tomorrow, but Saturday. So yeah, see you guys then. Actually, I may be able to read a bit tomorrow, but all I'll be reading is analysing. I've got a big day tomorrow, so I'll be quite tired. Anyway, see you guys. Hope you enjoyed.